welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited for today's video. We might be getting a little bit sassy in today's video again. Seeing a little bit of sassy stuff come out. I know that you guys really appreciated the sassiness in one of my videos that I recently posted about crappy makeup products. So today we're going to be talking about makeup products that I am glad that I did not buy. I have 11 products to share with you guys today. Makeup that I once was drooling over, lusting over, felt this deep burning desire in my heart that was telling me I needed this product. And now, in hindsight, I'm so glad I didn't buy it. So if you guys are interested in seeing and hearing about the makeup products I am personally glad that I did not purchase for myself, stay tuned. First, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I hope that you'll consider subscribing before leaving today. I do post a minimum of 4 times a week, but other than that, let's just jump into the video. Okay, so first, quick YouTuber disclaimer. This video is not meant to hurt anyone's feelings. It's not meant any malicious harm. I'm just talking about makeup products that I myself personally, for my own makeup opinions and vibes and preferences, I'm glad that I did not purchase for myself. So if I talk about something today that you personally love, maybe you could even convince me that I still need it in the comments below. But please don't be upset if I talk about something that you personally love. So jumping right in, I'm actually going to jump into a product that I have right here in my hands, and you're probably thinking to yourself, Steph, what the heck? I thought this was about products you're glad you didn't buy. I did not buy this, and I wanted to talk about this in this video specifically because I recently did the wish list makeup tag, and I said that this was a product that I was happy that I removed from my wish list. So this is the Caudalie Beauty Elixir for smoothing glowing complexion. Right after I posted that video, this became available on my Caudalie store, and I was like, no way. I'm gonna apply for it, see if I get approved, because this is like an opportunity to try it for free and see if I truly was missing out on the hype. And you guys, I am so glad that I did not spend my own personal money on this. Although it does feel nice, soothing, and luxurious, I do like the mister on this. It has this interesting scent to it, and I think some of that is because of the ingredients. Shoot, I don't have the ingredients right in front of me. It has, I think, some essential oils in it, or like the fragrance of essential oils. I'm not sure. I don't think the ingredients in this are that good for your skin. And it also has this scent that almost reminds me of like a Smirnoff liquor. It brings me back to like an alcohol-induced college memory for some reason, and I don't know why. So it feels refreshing on the face right away. Like I said, it's a really nice mister, and the scent isn't so off-putting that like I won't be able to use this. But I also just feel like this is just like water in a bottle. Like I feel like it really doesn't do a whole lot for my skin. I know it's supposed to like help tighten the pores. I don't know if maybe I've only used this much of it. Maybe I haven't used enough of it to really see that effect. But this also retails for $49. $49 for this, which I don't feel like I can use as like an end-all be-all makeup setting spray. I have used this a little bit between makeup steps to lock my powders in, or to like set my powders and like bring life back to my face. Maybe I get a little bit of that, but like honestly, I would much rather use so many other facial mists than a $49 beauty elixir. Like I feel like this is something that just would like sit on your nightstand, and if you're feeling like a little bit hot at night, you could like spray it. It is a glass bottle, so I fear if I carried this in my Mary Poppins never-ending bag of everything, that this would get broken into my purse. So I also wouldn't want to take it with me like traveling or bring it in my purse anywhere, and I'm just really glad I didn't spend the $50 on this. So I wanted you guys to know I don't think you need to spend $50 on this either. Okay, next up on my list is the Huda Beauty Pastel palettes, and I gotta say, when I first saw these launch, I was not interested at all, but then I think I maybe saw swatches or was like starting to get into pastels, and then I was like, oh, maybe I should buy like 1 or 2 or all 3, because I do love the Huda Beauty mini palettes, and I almost convinced myself to purchase these, but I feel like these have not gotten great reviews, and I feel like as Huda Beauty has expanded her mini palette line, the quality just hasn't been the same as the original 6. I was pretty impressed with the nude collection of 3, but I just feel like I'm really glad I didn't get the pastels. I feel like I have been delving into more single shadows from indie brands. I've been trying to support some black owned companies, so I've recently made some purchases from JD Glow Cosmetics for some eyeshadow singles. I actually have a couple of them on my eyes today, and then I recently made a purchase from Clarity Cosmetics as well, and I'm hoping that that will get here today. I think I have like 10 single shadows coming from them, and I'm so excited about it. And then I don't believe Shroud is a black. I know they're not a black owned brand, but I did make an order from Shroud Cosmetics as well, as I'm just trying to support more indie or smaller brands too, and really think about like where my dollars are going towards, and just trying to help smaller owned brands, smaller owned businesses, help support the little man, you know. I've suddenly like felt just this passion inside me to make more of an effort to support smaller owned brands, especially in these really troubling times where I don't want to see these small brands that have worked their tails off to just have like their company go under because of COVID and because of everything going on. So long story short, I did also make a purchase from Shroud Cosmetics, and I purchased a bunch of their pastel single shadows that come in their Creepy Cute palette. I almost bought the Creepy Cute palette, but I decided to just purchase some of the singles out of that palette and save a little bit of money because I didn't need like the black and white shade that was in the palette. So very excited for that to arrive to me as well. And long story short, because I made that order, I didn't need the pastel shades from the Huda palette. That really wasn't getting that great of reviews anyway. Second on my list is the Natasha Denona Mini Blush in Bloom. When I saw this release, I almost instantly purchased this, and thank goodness I took a step back and I was like, even though you like a little bit of a glowier cheek, you don't like that glowy of a cheek. And I also have the Natasha Denona Love Glow palette from like the Love collection that came out around Valentine's Day. I have the face palette, which has a shade that is probably a little bit more glittery in my palette, but it's relatively the same. And then I still have my Warm Hibiscus shade from Flower Beauty, which I feel like was going to give me a very similar effect. So even though this was only $19, it was a mini blush, and I just felt like I wasn't going to get the use out of it. I maybe thought that I was going to when I originally saw the picture, and was just like flooded with the, what is it, serotonin, endorphins? I don't know which one you get flooded with. Both. When I was first just flooded with the like idea of how this was going to look, and it was a Natasha Denona, but it was a mini, so it was more affordable. In hindsight, I'm so glad that I did not purchase this, because I also just purchased 6 other blushes, so there is no need to bring a 7th into my life. The Natasha Denona Love eyeshadow palette. So I did buy the cheek palette, which is so against like what I'm about. Normally I'm like, yeah, face palettes, I have a bunch, but I never use them, and eyeshadow palettes I'm obsessed with. But even though I think that that palette is beautiful and it still tempts me from time to time, there's a lot of pinks in that palette, and I never wear pinks. And even the bronze palette that they just came out with I think is beautiful, but I do not need that in my collection. So I'm really glad I didn't get the Love palette, because now I have the option. If I want to get the bronze palette, I can. I think it's stunning. I'm just trying to convince myself that I don't need it. But I am really glad that I did not purchase that Love palette, because that's $65 that I feel like I would have spent and not gotten a ton of use out of that. I just have the shades that I really liked from that palette. I feel like I can dupe in my collection. And again, I've wanted to kind of expand my single shadow collection a little bit more and save some money to buy some more single shadows. So I am happy that I decided to skip over this, even though, oh, there were so many times I almost bought this. I think that this, I can't remember if this had released, I think yes, before everything closed down, and I saw this in stores, and I was carrying it around in my little Sephora basket, and then my total was going to be way over what I wanted it to be, and I somehow convinced myself to put this back. And so many other times I have been like watching people do videos with this palette, and I'll pop over to Sephora, put it in my cart, and then eventually talk myself back out of it. So I feel like I'm really glad I didn't buy this. If I didn't buy it by now, I really don't need it. I don't know if it's even still available, but painfully, I am glad I didn't buy this. Number 5 is the Sailor Moon blushes from ColourPop that came out in the Sailor Moon collection. When I saw them online, I was like, I need these so badly. It was like a really pretty bright pink and then more of like a peachy shade. And I had been stalking my Ulta like in stocks to see if either of them were gonna get it like in my surrounding area. And finally, one of them did, and I went in store to swatch it, and there was so much glitter in those blushes. I don't know how I could have made it work for my cheeks. And honestly, the one blush that I do have from ColourPop, I think it's in the shade Fresh and Peachy. I love that. And it was very similar with less glitter than the one that I was really eyeing from the Sailor Moon collection. So even though that they're pretty affordable, I am glad that I didn't buy these because I feel like, again, this would have sat and collected dust in my collection, and I brought so many blushes into my life this year that it is truly out of control. Okay, next on my list is the Jacqueline Hill Volume 2 palette. And when I first saw this release, I was like, nope, not getting it. Like, it's just too bright. It's just too vibrant. Jacqueline Hill just has left a bad taste in my mouth. Morphe, like, I don't want to support that brand. But then I just saw so many people creating such beautiful looks, and I was like, was I wrong about this? But then I had also just recently decluttered my Jacqueline Hill Volume 1, which is a lot more wearable for me than the Volume 2 is. So I don't know why I even thought it would be a good idea. I don't like these huge 35 pan eyeshadow palettes. So thankfully that was a much short-lived, like, feeling like it was a necessity, and I'm very happy that I decided not to purchase this palette. Ooh, number 7 is any of the 3 Pat McGrath quads that came out during holiday last year that were $65. Oh, Mel Thompson. She almost convinced me to buy all 3 of these. I don't know what it is, and then I would swatch them in store and I would be like, these are so pretty, but if I buy all 3, it's gonna be like, what, 6 times 3 is 180 plus the 15 is 195 for freaking 12 shades. No. They were so pretty though, and it's so hard with Pat McGrath. They're so expensive, but I want everything. But ultimately with the quads, obviously they would have been more companion palettes, and even though I've been playing around with and delving into more color, I'm glad that I didn't pick these up because I feel like a lot of the shades that I was really interested in, like that bright green or that bright blue, I've found from indie brands. For example, today I have Peachy Keen on my eyes from Give Me Glow, which is like this pink and green iridescent shade. And then I also have the shade, I think it's Bora Bora, I could be wrong, Bora Bora or Bubbles or something, also from JD Glow, which is like this beautiful blue. And I feel like if you want those like special Pat McGrath shades but don't necessarily want to pay $125 or $65 for a quad or her large eyeshadow palettes, pick a couple of shades that you like from an indie brand, because they also do these like multi-dimensional, multi-chromal shades. And yeah, ultimately I'm really glad that I didn't buy these. I feel like I wouldn't have gotten my money's worth out of them. Did you guys own these? Do you own these? Did I make a mistake in not buying them? I do still want to know. Number 8 on my list is the Melt 420 palette, and I don't know why I was so interested in this. I think it's just because anything Melt comes out with, I'm very interested in, just because I love the care and the design and the intentionality, if that's even a word, that they put into the releases. Everything is so artistically and aesthetically pleasing, and I just really love the brand and want to support the brand. But this palette reminded me a lot of kind of like a mixture of the Gemini and the Melt Rust palette, which I have both of those now. And then I also have the Melt Smoke Sessions palette. I feel like I've heard really mixed reviews on the 420 palette as well, and I just feel like I wouldn't have gotten the use out of that to make it worth the $58 or whatever it was, because I preferred the color stories from the Melt Rust and the Melt Gemini. So even though I was tempted, I am really glad that I did not decide to pick up the 420 palette. Number 9 on my list is the Norvina Volume 4 palette. And honestly, any of the Norvina palettes. I was also very tempted in the Norvina 1 as well as the Norvina 3. But what are they, $60 or $65? I know you get 25 shades, but they're large palettes that I wouldn't reach for. They're very vibrant, very colorful, which again, I've been getting more into color, but I feel like when I look at those palettes, I just wasn't like creating looks in my mind. I was having a lot of difficulty being artistically inspired by them. I think the number 4 interested me the most because it was the most neutral of all of them, and I felt like I could get the most wear out of it. But at the end of the day, 65 or 60, whatever it is, dollars for that palette, I just felt like I couldn't justify it. And then I started to read a lot of Sephora reviews, and I felt like the reviews were just not great. And now even more so, so much has come out about specifically like Norvina as a person, who's obviously very closely tied with the brand, being the CEO. I know all corporations, all companies, not all, I shouldn't say all, that's very unfair, but at the end of the day, most businesses are in it to make the dollars, and it's not about being good people. But there's some things that just truly just don't sit with me well, and that Norvina as a person is just someone that like just gives me bad vibes, and I'm just disappointed in the way that she's gone about a lot of the things that she does. So I'm really happy that I didn't support this brand. So I'm really happy that I did not support this collection. Honestly, I still am interested in Anastasia palettes that come out, but I don't think I will support, at least not at this time, support anything that would be in the Norvina line. I'm not about canceling everyone. I'm not about cancel culture at all, really. But sometimes I am a fan of just taking a step back and taking a breath. And then if something comes out that really truly speaks to me, maybe. But I don't know. Again, I'm not about canceling. I need to take a step back, and right now I am not interested at all in supporting anything specifically from the Norvina line within the ABH brand, if that makes sense. And then the last product on my list, it's 3 products actually, and I almost bought all 3 of these, and it's the Knoblauch Cutie collection. It was the little 6-pan eyeshadow palettes. There were either 3 or 4 of them. I had all of them in my cart, almost purchased all of them, and I'm really glad I didn't at this point, because I'm actually more interested in choosing some Knoblauch singles to purchase rather than the like curated palettes for you. Even though typically I like a palette as opposed to single shadows, I want to, this is like my goal for the end of the year, I want to create like my own palette. I want to have like a green palette that has like all my green shades, and then like a neutral palette. And I've just been dabbling and having a lot of fun with single shadows. So even though I'm sure I would have really enjoyed the Knoblauch Cutie palettes, and at some point, these are ones that I could see myself still at some point picking up, or picking up like 1 or 2. At this point in time, I am more interested in purchasing Knoblauch singles as opposed to these palettes. So after that, you guys, that is going to conclude all of the products that I am personally happy that I did not spend my money on, that I did not buy. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments below. What products did you decide to pass on that maybe were pulling at your heartstrings at one time or another, and are you happy, or what are you happy that you decided to skip over? Thank you so much as always for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting my channel, and I will catch you guys in my next one. Bye.